Have you ever wondered what it really means to live by faith? Imagine stepping into the unknown, trusting completely in God without any clue of what lies ahead. This isn't just a feeling or a belief, this is faith in action. It's a leap of courage, a path of surrender, and a force that has the power to reshape your life. In the Bible, God calls us to have faith, even when the future is hidden. Take Abraham, for instance. God told him, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." Genesis 12 verse 1, imagine the courage it took to leave everything behind and walk towards something he couldn't even see. Abraham's act of faith was a step into the unknown, guided solely by God's promise. Could you take that step? Could you trust God enough to leave behind everything familiar? Noah's faith also defied all logic. Hebrews 11 verse 7 tells us, "By faith Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear built an ark to save his family." Imagine building a massive boat on dry land while everyone around you laughs and scoffs. Faith called Noah to act against every reasonable thought. But because he obeyed, he and his family were saved. Faith often means moving forward, even when it doesn't make sense. Do we have the courage to follow God's direction, even when others might not understand? Sometimes, faith means standing firm when everything else falls apart. Job's story is one of the most powerful examples. After losing all he had, Job declared, "The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away, may the name of the Lord be praised." Job 1 verse 21, even in his darkest days, Job's faith didn't waver. And because of this, God restored him, blessing him beyond what he had lost. Are we willing to hold on to our faith when life gets tough? Job teaches us that faith isn't just a momentary act, it's a continuous commitment, especially in times of suffering. In Mark 12 verses 41 to 44, we see a beautiful example of simple faith. Jesus watched as a widow placed 2 small coins into the offering. She gave everything she had. Jesus told his disciples, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others." Faith doesn't have to be a grand gesture, sometimes, it's the little things, trusting God with what we have, no matter how small. We often think we need to do something big to show faith, but Jesus reminds us that even small acts done in faith are powerful. Peter's act of faith took him right into a storm. In Matthew 14 verse 29, when Jesus called him, Peter stepped out of the boat and actually walked on water. But the moment he took his eyes off Jesus, he began to sink. Faith is bold, but it requires focus. Yet, Jesus reached out and saved Peter, showing us that even when our faith falters, his love stays steady. Faith is an invitation to trust Jesus through every storm. When we keep our eyes on him, we can accomplish the impossible. In Daniel 3, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow to an idol, even under the threat of death in a fiery furnace. They told the king, "The God we serve is able to deliver us. But even if he does not, we will not serve your gods." Daniel 3 verses 17 to 18. God didn't just save them, he joined them in the fire. Faith means standing firm, even when it could cost us everything. Do we have this kind of faith, one that says, even if? Faith isn't only for ourselves, it's something we pass on to future generations. In 2 Timothy 1 verse 5, Paul reminds Timothy of the sincere faith that first lived in his grandmother Lois and mother Eunice. Faith is a legacy we leave behind, inspiring others to trust God just as we have. Like Abraham, Job, Peter, and all the faithful before us, our faith today has the power to transform tomorrow. What legacy of faith are you leaving? How can your acts of faith inspire those who come after you? Faith isn't a one-time act, it's a daily choice, a journey that shapes every part of our lives. It's about trusting God in the unknown, holding on to him in the storms, and believing in his promises, even when we can't see them. Today, if you feel called to strengthen your faith, remember that each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to God. So, trust him. Take a step in faith. And let God reveal His power through your life. Step forward in faith, and you'll see that God has been with you every step of the way.